And now let's take a look at today's PlayStation Player Impact Rating, and we're looking at Dylan Moses right now. He has a Player Impact Rating of 84, which is 38th among inside linebackers. That's great and everything, but the bad news for Alabama is that he tore his ACL on Tuesday, and so he's out for the season. A freshman now has to take his role on in Week 1 against Duke, and there's just injuries that abound. There's 2 starting linebackers that are gone for Alabama. I mean, do we have concerns, or how are you filling those roles, especially this late when you're so close to preparation? You know, you were a week out from a game, and Dylan Moses goes down.
Tough blow for Alabama as a team and for a defense, too. They really relied on this young man to call the plays, call the signals, get everybody in perfect alignment, make sure they get the checks. He was pretty much the Tua of the defense. So that should give you some perspective of how important Dylan Moses was to Alabama's defense. So huge blow. They're already thin at the position, but this is a guy who is actually like a coach on the field. He's an alpha male. He's going to be sorely lost by Alabama's defense, David.
And it's important that you can't replace him, first of all, as a player. Right. Because he's a top 20 draft pick in the NFL, even with the knee. But what you said about the leadership, because here's the thing, you can play freshman. Right. But you dang sure better have somebody beside him who knows to tell him what to do. Okay, I play defense, okay? I know we look like big, dumb animals, but you got to know offensive formations. No. Still am. Okay. No, stop. See ball, get ball. It ain't see ball, get ball, okay? Like, you have to, and so when you're already counting on a freshman next to him, and you had to make the calls and tell him, listen, all you got to do is this. Right. But now the front has to be lined up. The secondary has to be in coordination. And it takes somebody that's played that position and been in those battles. Listen, they're going to be fine versus Duke. And they're going to be fine versus everybody on their schedule because Tua's going to outscore almost everybody in the regular season. But when you get to Clemson and when you get to Georgia in the SEC championship game, this is when you're going to look back and you're going to go, man, it'd been really nice to have Dylan Moses right now.
Yeah, Shane Lee, he's the new freshman that's got to step up into that role. And, again, he doesn't know what to expect. It's birth by fire for him. But Alabama's defense, they already had to replace 5 NFL draft picks, which I know it's nothing. Alabama constantly, like, that's what you do. But it's going to be a concern without Dylan Moses. Take a look at our Friday slate. Here are the notable games. Okay, which one is intriguing to you, David?
How about Michigan State? Okay. I would love to see. At some point, I feel like we're going to press repeat, Des.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is there an offense? Like, is there any offense to be found? And I know Michigan State fans are frustrated. Like, at some point, you got to make changes and find something. But you saw Lewerke get dinged up a year ago, and it's some wide receivers to slow this down. What does this offense look like? I know the defense is going to be really good. Right. Can they get forward passes? Yeah.
They say that Lewerke looks good in camp, but they got bit seriously by the injury bug last season, and I think they're out to prove that last season is just not who they are. So watch out for Sparty. I think Sparty's going to be tough this year. I'm excited about this game too, David, but how about Colorado State versus Colorado? In-state rivalry. You got your guy Mel Tucker, who came over from Georgia. He's a long-time assistant coach. Now he's a head coach of the Colorado Buffs. I'm expecting a great defense. Offensively, I want to see what they bring to the table. So I'm keeping an eye on this Colorado State versus Colorado game. Mel Tucker, the head coach. Come on, Mel.
Hey, you know who the coach on the other side is? Mike Bobo from Georgia, offensive coordinator. So Georgia assistant versus Georgia assistant now as head guy.
Mel Tucker's my homeboy. He's from Cleveland, too.
Good dude.
My homeboy, yeah.
All right, well, Mike Bobo is my homeboy. Now
hey, they're both my homeboys. They're both my homeboys.
All right, when we come back on College Football Live, we're going to take a leap of faith, which is what we've been doing here on this show the entire day.
What's that mean?
That's true.
We had to leap on over here to the pavilion. The weather we're still waiting on. It's going to be, you know, whether or not you can make a very, very bold prediction. We're just changing the name this year. Coming up tomorrow on College Game Day, Herbie goes one-on-one with Alabama QB Tua Tagovailoa, and he opens up about what went wrong in the national title game. Plus, Auburn head coach Gus Malzahn, he's going to join the set live and discuss that Week 1 matchup against Oregon. Plus, call him the professor. You know Mike Leach, right? Gino, he went inside the classroom with the Wazoo head coach as he taught a class on football and warfare this offseason, okay? That's all coming up on College Game Day tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, and you can watch it live on the ESPN app. If you want to join us live, come to Fort Worth. I think the weather's going to be better tomorrow. Sundance Square is where you can find College Game Day. We need all the fans to show up. And Gino is showing up now. Welcome to week 1, Gino.
Gino, you had your best show last week.
You did.
You were phenomenal.
I thought I was great in Orlando and even better at Clemson.
You didn't mess up one time. It's the first time I've ever worked with you. You've been
perfect for me.
Give us the best tease you could possibly give about Mike Leach in your piece.
I got Mike Leach to dress in a tweed jacket, have a pipe, wear nerd professor glasses, and we couldn't get him to do the ascot.
Okay.
And he wore his cargo shorts during all of it.
Done. Sold.
Okay. So it's a normal day at the office for Ruth.
That's a win.
It's a Thursday.
It's time for our Leap of Faith segment, and basically it's a bold prediction. I'm going to make a statement. You tell me if you're taking the leap. Des, we start with you. Kansas will go to a bowl game.
I'm taking the leap. Listen,
okay.
Les Miles is a motivator. You guys don't understand. You may not be the best when it comes to X's and O's, but Les Miles can get young men to buy in. And, you know, anytime a new coach takes over a program, the first thing he needs to do is get these guys to buy in whatever he's selling. Les has that type of personality. They're going to want to go out there and play for Les. So I'm telling you, the Kansas Jayhawks will go bowling this postseason.
That is a leap of faith that you are solo on, brother.
Right.
That's a solo leap of faith. I'm not leaping with him. Absolutely not.
That's Dez's leap, okay?
That's Dez's leap.
Okay.
Hey, and he ain't got no parachute.
Okay.
All right?
Lambeau leap, Des leap.
There we go.
David,
exactly.
This is your leap. Mizzou will be in the top 10 by November. Are you taking the leap?
Yeah. I think Missouri will be 8-0 going into November. And guess what?
What?
Their best 3 wins would be South Carolina, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great, okay?
Yeah.
But Kelly Bryant comes over. I think this team will be really, really good. They got everybody to stay. I mean, everybody bought in even when they got the sanctions. I think Mizzou's going to be a really solid team. They're going to go to Athens, Georgia in November as a top 10 team.
Wow.
Okay. I'm actually with you on that one. I couldn't give it to Des. I can give it to you. Okay, Gino, just give me your leap.
No worries.
My leap of faith is sort of like it's not a Des one, that's for sure.
Hey.
It's the boys at Minnesota being able to win that Big Ten West.
Okay.
I was there a couple weeks ago and talked to P.J. Fleck and about a handful of the players.
Okay.
And they weren't boastful about it. But, you guys know, they felt really good. Like, this is their year to make a run. It's year 3 of Fleck.
Right.
They bought in. They have experience at a lot of positions, a lot of depth, especially at that running back position that we just saw, wide receiver, and their schedule sets up very well for them. No Ohio State, no Michigan State, no Michigan.
And the West is wide open. Some people have picked Nebraska to win the West. They only had 4 wins a year ago, but they got Adrian Martinez back. So the West is wide open. It's not Wisconsin as usual.
Right.
It can be Minnesota. It can be Nebraska. I'm with you. I'm
Wisconsin,
with you on that one.
You're on the leap of faith?
Wisconsin at Minnesota.
You're on the leap of faith with Gino?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm with Gino on that one. It's not that big of a leap. I don't think that's a big leap. Do you have a bigger leap than that one, David?
How about that? An Oklahoma quarterback will not be #1 in their conference in touchdowns or offense.
Oh, we're going to have a problem.
How about that?
Fighting words.
Oklahoma, the last how many years it's been quarterback play. I think Sam Ehlinger will lead the Big 12 in touchdowns. It will not be another Oklahoma guy for the 15,000th year in a row.
We've got a problem.
We got a problem with that.
My leap of faith is Jalen Hurts is going to become the 3rd OU quarterback in a row to win the Heisman.
Wow.
And here is why.
Wow, that rain.
Cue rain.
And don't even say it. Don't say that he's one of the favorites. You're going to say that, aren't you?
He's a top 5 favorite to win the Heisman.
He's a top 5. But would you take Tua or Trevor over him?
Well, obviously, that's why they're not a favorite.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a leap of faith.
You know what's a real big leap of faith, Gino?
I think it's a leap of faith to say Rondale Moore will win the Heisman.
Thank you. Hey, you know what a leap of faith is, Des?
Go ahead.
The quarterback of the Oklahoma Sooners the last 2 years has won a Heisman, right?
Correct. Yeah. Both of them were transfers.
Saying another one is just a huge leap of faith. I'm getting way out on that limb.
This is why nobody likes you.
Can we just focus on this guy? Right? Yeah, Ole Miss. Hotty toddy.
Now, if you said Ole Miss was going to be a playoff team, that would be a leap of faith.
That would be a leap of faith.
That would be a Des Kansas goes bowling leap of faith.
Standing in the rain. We appreciate you, okay?
Yes, we do.
That's not a leap of faith, Gino. That's just a...
Now go ahead.
What does Lincoln Riley do better than any other head coach in the country?
Offense.
He puts his quarterbacks in a position to succeed.
So
Jalen Hurts has had...
not a leap of faith.
Hold on a second. Jalen Hurts, if you had to say one thing about his game, it would be he's a little bit inaccurate. He's not as consistent as a passer.
Right.
And he led his team to the college football playoff twice.
It's raining. My hair's getting wet, and it's time to go.
Okay.
We are done.
Her hair's getting
Hottie Toddy is out here in the rain. If you want to watch College Game Day on ESPN, you
loneliest guy in the world.
If you want to stand out there with that guy, you come to the Sundance